Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
Episode 222.
And this is
Oh,
Willow.
we kind of synced up well on that one.
Right,
That didn't
Willow?
sound cheesy at all.
Willow's new. She's so sweet. She's a little older. She's 7 months, and I think she's going to enjoy just getting attention. All right, guys.
Willow's just happy to be here.
Yeah.
She's happy to be alive.
You can write questions out in the comments. Please give us the age and like breed mix of your dog. We're going to start with a few that were sent in.
But we do love the follow-up. So if we're reading your question, if your question's on the screen, you guys have a follow-up question, we like the back and forth. All right, from Mateo. I have a 14-week-old GSP pup. So,
I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
GSP, so not German Shepherd, German Shorthaired Pointer.
Yeah.
I always get it mixed up because I'm dyslexic.
I couldn't help
Pup, and he pees in the crate as soon as I walk out of the house. Even if I just took him out to pee, I'll leave him for 20 minutes and he'll pee in the crate. He goes through the night without peeing, so I know he can hold it for some time. I'm not sure how to go about this. So thank you for the age and breed. I think it's one of two things. I think it's possible he could be getting too much liquid. I would be asking what he does in the crate when that's happening. So when you put him in the crate, is he scream barking the second he goes in there and you're walking out of the room? Is it anxiety that's leading to the potty accident, or is it too much resources? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, knowing GSPs, and we've had quite a few that we've
Drive,
personally trained, as well as through the program here at Puppy Academy, and they are so excitable. I mean, they're there's a lot of similarities to Vizslas and just other dogs that are like this all the time, and so. During the day, it's such a different circadian, because of the circadian rhythm. Did I say that right?
Circadian rhythm.
I always want to say cicada, okay.
You've said it a couple times on live. We get a kick out of it.
I do. Thank you. Anyway, because of that, I mean, there's a real change in how the dog, views their downtime. And so during the day, it could not even be you. It could be a noise or anything like that. Gets them excited, gets them up. And then they're like, where are you going? I heard you leave, or I heard you come in and you haven't gotten to me yet. It could be excited pee, nervous pee, any of those things, anxious pee. They tend to be anxious, excited all the time as you're kind of working against, that genetic disposition with some of them. And so because of that, I would make sure in your schedule this is so funny.
She's enjoying life right now. You got the leg kicking and everything.
Oh my gosh. I'm like ruining her for her afternoon training session, basically.
You break them, we fix them.
Yeah. So one of the things I would keep an eye on, as well as the water, like know how much they're getting. I would maybe cut whatever you're doing in half, and then you can always give them more water chances, but just not quite as much at one time, because a lot of those excited dispositions, they tend to be hardcore tinklers or nervous, excited tinklers.
And if you follow our thing, we usually say give water before going to the crate. I would actually reverse that and give water when they come out of the crate.
Yep.
And then give one final potty before they go in,
Yep.
but no additional water for the couple hours that you're gone.
Yep.
I wouldn't leave a bowl in there either.
I agree.
The measurement is usually a half cup of water for every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. It's not guaranteed for every dog. Dalmatians drink differently. Every type of dog does. So you kind of want to look at your exercise amount, your training amount, even treats, food creates a parched dog because it has salt on it.
The key thing to take away from what he said, which I was going to say, is...
I felt like I wasn't talking.
I know, it's terrible when you don't talk, is when, like our schedule, potty break, then you do your play, your work, and then your supervised separation, and then water and back in crate. Do 2 potty breaks. So do potty break right away, do everything you're going to do, give another potty break, even if it's only been 30 minutes before you put your puppy back in crate.
She just realized Dusty was in this room.
Oh.
Just now. I mean, like
she's
seconds ago.
a little obsessed with dogs, we found out there. I took them out, and she just lost all focus with Haley. And Haley goes, oh, she's scared, because she was tucking her bum under. And then all of a sudden it was, and then it was really apparent that she's an overly submissive, excited dog.
Her dogs are on the side of this room right now.
Yeah.
They've been statues. They're older dogs. And she's just been getting love. The second she saw a shifting shadow, it was like her whole body just went into like a wave flow.
Yeah.
Think she's done? Want to keep her going?
I think she should be done. She's not done, but I'm like afraid. I really am afraid that she's just going to like lay in crate and refuse to do anything but get food and love for her afternoon training.
I mean, that's the life I wish I had.
I mean, it's not a bad first day,
Not a bad first day.
Not a bad first day.
Is she day one?
I think so, yeah.
No.
Oh, no, she's
no,
not. My
first
bad.
week, yeah.
My bad. Then
I was
definitely.
like, it's pretty good for day one.
Yeah, then definitely get her going. Okay. I don't have any questions
I've
yet.
got a couple.
Oh, okay.
I got one. Kind of the same category. Bethany says I need to help my posture.
No, that's not it. It's because we see
Project my voice. Okay. From Chaos and Caffeine Mommy. I remember you. You're back. I have a 12-week-old GSD and we have tried everything to get him to stop biting. Any advice? 12-week-old GSD, so German Shepherd. Okay. Structure, schedule, and a leash. I think structure is really important so you can actually start scheduling out when you're going to train, when you're going to walk, when you're going to play. I know we're structure, that's always what we preach. But there's a reason we preach it, because you need windows, blocks of training, walk, and exercise so your puppy can actually tire themselves out in that block of time and then learn to actually have downtime, whether you're using a playpen, a crate, even just a dog bed that they're like kind of tethered to your side. You need to have that downtime. Our other thing is leash. Your puppy probably has a lot of energy at 12 weeks old. You're probably at the like really big teething phase as well. So you need to have a 3-strike rule. You need to have a good leash that you can get some leverage with, and you got to have food on you. You should always have a pouch of food on your hip. Anytime that puppy's out of the crate, you should always have a leash on your puppy when they're out of the crate. But don't go to correction. That's not what we're saying. We actually think you probably need to do a little bit more training to exercise some of that energy down. But then when the energy's down, that's when puppies actually can get a little bit more nippy and bitey because they enter like zoomy mode. That's where your leash comes in. That's where our 3-strike rule comes in. When puppies are exhausted and tired, they're not ready for the crate yet. They need a little bit of settle time before going back there, but they're jumping up, nipping at your hands. You can play with pressure on and extend your arm forward
Leash
and
pressure.
out. Yeah, leash pressure. On, up, and out to kind of get your puppy to kind of back off and settle for a second. When they start settling down, you slowly relieve that tension. You wait a short second and you redirect them with food. Your puppy is telling you something when they do that. They either have too much energy, they're overstimulated mentally or physically, they need something from you. Try a training session, try a play session, try to work that energy down more efficiently. Don't let them use the energy in their way. Most times it's not in a good way.
So our 3-strike rule, real quick.
Oh yeah, so I probably should go over that one, huh? Strike 1, firm verbal no. Most of the time it's just me kind of freezing, giving a loud verbal no. Not even aggressive, it's just neutral.
The freezing part is so important. Movement causes stimulation. So even if I'm playing, I'll just tuck my arms in and freeze.
And then after a couple seconds, some puppies will actually kind of take a breath, take a step back because you're freezing your energy, so they kind of mimic you and freeze theirs. Some won't. If they continue on, it happens again. I'll then pick up leash, apply a small pressure up and out. I will give a no for this one as well. And then I move into my puppy and I try to kind of create that spatial pressure to get them to back off and settle. After every one of these though, I'm personally bringing out more food because that's still my puppy needing something from me. I can't fix a dog by adding pressure. They're not toys. So they're animals, they're creatures. They need to exhaust energy, mental or physical, in order to get that settle. But now, they've been out of the crate for like 45 minutes, an hour and a half, and it just feels like every second is them jumping, nipping, biting. We're on or going through or 2 strikes. 3rd strike, I don't say no. I take a deep breath because I'm mad now. You've been jumped on, nipped at, and bit at for 30 minutes. Wipe it off. Calmly go pick up that dog or grab their leash if they're not a drag dog and are just going to stop on the road. Pick them up, walk them, put them in the crate. Close it, lock it, cover it. Walk
Take
away.
a break. Yeah,
it's not a punishment. Wait, I got to say this part because everyone at home is thinking you cannot create a punishment through crate. That's not what we're doing, guys.
It's
Emotion.
Not.
Don't touch my shoulder.
Don't
touch my shoulder.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you
crushed
reminded.
It last week.
I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Just stay away from me.
Hey, I didn't cause the tear. That was not my fault.
No, but you crushed it last week. It's not a punishment. It's the emotion that leads to the punishment. So if it's bad dog, no, house. That's a negative. That's an emotional correction. But if it's a neutral, pick them up, put them in there. You're going to get about 5-10 minutes of barking probably. They're frustrated, but in their mind, they're not doing anything negative. They're just using their energy in the ways that they know.
Yeah.
You're helping them out by kind of giving them a reset. Some people put them in for 10-15 minutes. If I already had the dog out for an hour and a half, that's probably the start of the next crate window.
Yeah.
If I've had them out for 10 minutes and I've already got this big nipping and I put them in the crate and they're carrying on,
5-10 minutes.
They can't go back in the crate for another hour and a half. You still have to use that energy. Yeah. Otherwise, that creates a negative now.
Yeah, so 5-10 minutes, bring him back out. I would say here's the thing about puppy biting. There's a lot of layers to it. there's a lot of ways that you could look at it, and you can't tackle it one way. It's so important that you don't, because it's relationship based. Like, I'm dealing with an 8-month-old right now that is literally launching and biting their family's back legs, butt, hands, any chance he gets. And was after doing all the things that we normally do, like what he's talking about, plus some other stuff, because he's older, he still targets his family. He doesn't target anybody new that does those things, but still targets the family, because it's a relationship issue now. It's not even the issue that he's talking about. It's now become so habitual. He literally views you that way. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that to scare you. You only have a 12-week-old, but I am telling you, you got to get a handle on this thing. And so if some of the, quick advice that we give is not working, I'd strongly advise, getting some help ASAP, or go watching 10 videos in the next 2 days on YouTube of positive reinforcement, how to handle puppy nipping, and balanced dog training, how to handle puppy nipping. I would also teach your puppy place right away, because that's where you can start to use spatial pressure and teach your dog to back away, and then they get a reward. And start hand feeding at least 1 to 2 meals a day. They need to start to see your hands as something different. Stop petting your dog if they start nipping you. You're either exacerbating the issue because they don't want to be pet because you're causing stimulation, or you're not doing it in a way that calms your puppy down. You're doing it in a way that's exciting them. Stay away from the head, the face, the ears. You could try to massage the body when the dog is tired, and maybe they can handle a few minutes of that. But as soon as I get nipping, they're making it very clear that my timing is off, something is off about what I'm doing. Or it's habitual already. Now, there is the type of biting that is more mouthing because they're teething. That does exist. And so, how do you decipher what's what? It can be tough. If you don't really know what you're looking at, it can be tough. But to kind of go over it a little bit, there is a type of targeting. Like, he actually looks at your hands when you're playing fetch. Or you go to do an ear pet, and he actually looks at your hand and, so there's an actual targeting. That's one way. And it's just like a snap usually and let go.
It kind of has like a little sound to it.
A sound? It has a sound?
Oh, yeah. The little bite.
Lots of puppies do that without yipping.
You know the sound I'm talking about. Bethany, don't make me look stupid on this camera.
Well,
you know the sound I'm talking about.
If they're super escalated.
It's like the frustrated little
yeah, but that's severe. I hope you're not waiting to that point.
I don't think it's severe. I think it's just emotional for the puppy.
Anyway.
I think it's just an emotional nip at you.
Anyway, then there's the type that actually bites and holds onto you for a second. Okay, that's intentional. That is not because they are teething. And then there are just a reaction. Like, you might just go and pick up the leash, and they just go and bite the leash, or they kind of like mouth your hand a little bit. That is more tailored to the teeth coming in, and I'll just let it go because I'm doing other things to work on our relationship. We actually have a 5-month-old that we worked as a puppy, and now has come back for advanced training for as much as they can for their age, and very excited at the drop off. And it's a retriever, so of course it had the leash in his mouth. He was very, very proud. Well, I had to take the leash out of his mouth. So what do you think the puppy does? It jumps up on me, and that's one of the things I want to work on. So I go, no, I kind of do a little bump off, but it's my first 5 minutes of, the dog coming back to the house. So it's not going to have any value.
She's building believability still.
Yeah, it's just kind of a habit at this point. It's not going to build any real value for the moment. Just try to stay consistent. But then he turned that energy around, and my husband was barefoot.
He went for his toes.
And just went for his toes. And Chris is like, and I didn't correct the puppy because he did a chomp and a move away. He's like, aren't you gonna correct that? And I'm like, no, because it's just a redirection of arousal. And there are so many other things we're gonna do in the program that's gonna work on that. So when I do correct it, because we do need to get to that point, it'll have more value than me doing it right now. Because I was like, he didn't even, anyway. It was
that
funny.
gives blue healer vibes.
It was funny. It was a golden retriever.
I know, that's what's crazy. It gives healer vibes.
It's a very...
In the same way that she said he just happened to walk up, and the eyes probably just glanced and Pupils dilate really quick.
bright white Irish toes in the.
Oh yeah.
But seriously, my point, like this dog is
White
like,
Irish
well, it was like sticking out like a sore thumb on the dark carpet. So looked like a fun toy. So anyway, it's why you don't work dogs barefoot
Barefoot.
or with sandals on. Anyway.
I got good ones. I got some good ones.
Anyway, so long story short, you could check out our online school. Your dog is the perfect age for it. You could go to thepuppyacademy.com and click on the online part where you actually get to work with us one-on-one through Zoom, and you get to hear more of these riveting stories. All right.
Do get some good stories in there. We try to have some fun.
We try not to do stories on here, but I couldn't help it because I just kept thinking about it. Happened literally like
Which
this
person's
morning.
question was that again? That wasn't on my side, right?
That was on here.
Okay, cool.
So,
This one is.
I don't know. I've forgotten at this point.
All right, Talia, I'm getting a teacup Yorkie in 4 weeks. Should I start crate training her the day I pick her up? Heck yeah, and you should get her online school because it is very, very affordable and it's about the cost of one private in-home training session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, crate right away.
Yeah. That's what you did? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
No, I got more. I've been saving them.
No, it's good. We want to prioritize you guys that are here, then show
Well,
up.
plus I got ones I've never heard before.
Okay.
15-week-old Cockapoo to stop biting. We've given you guys a couple of those already with the crate training and the 3-strike rule and the having leash on. So kind of pull back a little bit in the previous part of the video.
Yeah.
This is the one I've been trying to get to. From Diet Coke Grandma. We've got some
Diet Coke Grandma?
some banger names today.
Man, that's someone I got to go check out their profile.
You hear that word banger? That's a slang word that the kids say now.
The kids say banger now.
Yeah.
You think that's a new slang word,
No,
not an
it
old
came
slang
back.
word?
No, I'm
brought
proud of
from
it
the
because that's how it was for me when I was a kid, and now it's like cool again.
Gosh. How do you even know that?
Stop.
You're not around cool kids.
Not around cool kids. I lost my question. If we have to crate a dog for a long flight, like 18 hours, and the dog weighs 150 pounds, how do we go about it? So
You put straw or something down in the crate?
there's multiple methods. So I don't know if it's too late to maybe still adjust your flight a little bit. I've done transfers. So I've done layovers, where it's a 1-hour layover, and I've usually done 3 of them. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but you got a 150-pound dog that you're trying to fly with, so you got to kind of compromise a little bit. That's if it's even possible.
Yeah.
The other, and that to me is
I didn't even know that was legal.
if you, the other method is what you were about to say, which I'll tell them as well. That's the kind way to do it because the dog can, a big 150-pound dog, especially if they don't have any water before it, can hold for about 6 hours, no problem, because they have such a large bladder. But then when you get off that flight, you take them, you pee them at the wherever place you can at the airport, and you take them out for like an hour, 2-hour walk. You really
Can I stop you? Because I don't understand.
We're talking about a layover. If it's a triple layover.
No, but I thought layovers, they're cargo. So they go with the plane to the next plane. You don't get to do anything with them in between.
You can usually take your dog out if it's a layover. No. I'm almost positive you can. I'm almost positive, like 98% positive, that you would be able to get a dog off of the flight. But you don't get your dog till you've already gone out of security where the baggage claim is. Well, it depends on it. It depends on if you prearrange it with the airline. If you have a big dog like that, I don't know. It would absolutely be worth checking with the airline if you're willing to do like a triple layover for like a 1 or 2 hour break between each flight. Maybe even you go separate from the other part of the family. That's the method I recommend. I know it's possible because I did one with Cheyenne. Okay, like I believe you. I've just never. I did have to organize it with the airline, and she was a service animal, so I'm not sure how much more that applies, but I can't imagine much more, honestly, because she's still an animal. Because usually the advice would be to try not to get connecting, like try not to have a layover, because you want your dog on your plane and then to be there when you show up, not to have transfers. But if you're saying that you can set it up to where you're there and they bring you the dog right when you get off the flight before you go to your next gate. 9 years ago, you could. Okay. All right, cool. And I think it is worth reaching out to the airline to see if they still do that. Yeah, it might be. I think I did United, if that matters. The other method, do you want to add to that? Well, no, the only other thing I was going to say is I've only done a couple of like pickups for dogs that were overseas.
And so not a lot, but 2. One of them was a situation where it was a smaller dog, so it was not as big of a deal.
In a carrier.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't in a carrier. It was still in cargo, but it was coming from overseas, and so making sure that they give like proper food, proper water, things like that. That was an 11-hour flight, and they just had blankets and towels in there, and the dog had just peed and pooed all over in them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like the 11-hour thing. Then I had another one. There was a 2 labs. And what they ended up doing is they put them both in large wooden crates. And they were huge. These were massive
They're really
labs.
good at absorbing urine and feces.
And they put, 2 massive wooden crates, and they had straw in them. This was a longer flight, no layover, straight shot to LAX. And they were nasty when I picked them up, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it really wasn't like as bad as you would think it was. And they were stressed, but they did okay. And they were, I guess they were provided water and things like that on the flight because they didn't have anything in their crates. I don't know about that. Made me a little nervous, but that was interesting to me. It was almost like an animal. Like a farm animal crate, like a specially made big wooden, huge.
That was going to be my recommendation.
It was not a standard crate.
Nope.
It wasn't like what we consider just big enough for the dog to stand up, move around, and lay down. No, they could actually do some circles like a lion in a cage.
They're also not, the crates that we provide for dogs that are in our home, they're not secure. If you ever have an earthquake and something falls, they will get smashed.
Yeah.
Those will not. Those things can tumble. They can fall, move around. They do not break apart. They're extremely secure. And wood absorbs shock absorption. So if things fall on it, it's going to bow the wood. It's not going to crush the plastic.
Oh, I have one more thing to say.
But hay inside too is really good.
We don't know what we're talking about. So what you should really do, and I mean do it ASAP, because it makes me a little nervous. And so if I'm you, I am going to look up trainers that have awards for traveling for sport dog work. And I'm going to call their company and I'm going to beg for 10 minutes of their time or pay for 10 minutes of their time and talk to someone who has actually traveled with dogs overseas, because dogs that are really, really into this, they travel overseas for these kinds of things, and see what advice they have, and get a trainer that's older. So that means they traveled in the 80s and 90s where they probably did travel in cargo. Now they probably service dog and travel on the plane with them. But back then they're like, no big deal, just put them in the cargo hold. We just had a different idea around dogs back then.
We didn't know what we knew back then.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't know what we didn't know. And so that would be, I'm calling up the first 5 I can find of trainers that look like they compete and they travel, and that's where I'm going. Because we don't know what we're talking about, and let's move on.
We're just giving you advice of what we think you should do.
Yeah. Well, because based off of no knowledge.
Well, I mean, what we think you should is you should find a plane certified dog. No, you got to find someone that travels with their animals.
Oh my gosh.
I like that. That was smart. What her advice was, because those people get to their next location and have a dog that needs to perform for show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good, damn good.
Their dogs are worth like 10 grand and
10 grand, probably 50.
It depends.
Yeah, it really does, man. All right, from Olivia. My dog plays with my friend's dog, but she bites my dog's ears and face and gets on top of her. What does healthy... Yeah, of course. Just read below.
You're so fast, I can't understand. It's a joke from earlier, sorry. My dog plays with my friend's dog. Oh, so we don't have age and breed. My dog plays with... Okay, but she bites ears and face, gets on top of her. What does healthy play look like? Not like that, sorry. What do I do when she bites her?
There's more below, I think.
How can I get my 2 puppies?
Oh, no, I guess
that's somebody else. Okay, that was the last one.
I thought there was 2 parts to it.
So, Olivia, if you're still on, we really need age and breed mix. Not of your friend's dog, although that would be helpful too, but of your dog, because that's crazy important.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, I'm going to spend 10 minutes guessing all the different
ways. And then
you're
going to be like, she's a Yorkie. And we're like, crap.
Oh dear.
What?
I wish I hadn't seen this one, but I did, so I will be honest and I'll read it. I'll tell you why in a minute. 12-week-old puppy goes in crate really well, but once out and screams nonstop. Nonstop screaming.
Oh.
Sparky, take this one. No. Okay, so I'll be nice. I'll start it. So here's the thing.
You can finish it though.
The reason I'm joking around about that is because I feel like we answer this all the time, and it's so painful. It's such a painful question. And there's so many different levels to potential separation anxiety. And here's the thing. Let's just be honest. You know, for a long time, dogs were just left alone. They screamed until they were quiet, and then they were fine, and then they just got creative and did stuff, you know, and they were fine. But they were outside on a farm without neighbors and things like that. And so it was a very different scenario. And they weren't necessarily even in a crate. Although I did have an Aussie that would bite even a huge pen because she was crazy. So every dog is different is my point. And we don't really know what exactly is going to help you and your dog. So I'm afraid our advice is going to be a little generic. But for a 12-week-old, I would definitely start with, can your dog wait for the crate door to be open before coming out? So that's like the first thing, is you want to start really emphasizing thresholds where, or emphasizing focus on thresholds where the dog is waiting at every door that opens in the house. And you don't even have to have a fancy sit. You can just use body blocking and have the dog wait and breathe and then invite them out. But if I've got a dog that's really struggling in crate, then they're going to turn around, and we call it house, go right back in. House, good, pause, piece of food, pause. We want to go nice and slow because we're trying to regulate their emotions. They should be on leash, by the way, so you put a leash on them after they finally will pause. You use the crate door as spatial pressure to get them to pause. Open door, they finally aren't bolting out, leash, let's go, house, food, if they'll even take food, and really do some doggy meditation and focus in on that. But then it's like no affection 15 minutes before they go in crate, no affection 15 minutes after they come out. Go do a deep dive on how to prevent separation anxiety just to make sure you're checking those boxes. It's not even a deep dive. That's like, honestly, you can find the basic info really easily. You could also check out our online school. We have videos on this as well. That's where I would start. That would be my starting point. And then make sure you are mentally and physically, the mentally is actually more important, but mentally and physically training your dog when they're outside of crate. And then when they look like they're about to fall asleep, I wouldn't let them stay out of crate anymore. Or if they're in a playpen or they're next to me, I would be like, all right, we're going in crate. You only sleep in crate for the next 2 weeks. There's not as much free time during the day as you've been giving. So those are some adjustments I'd make. Do you have anything else to add?
Olivia said Dotson.
Dachshund. Okay, we'll go back and we'll answer yours.
That's all I had to add. But she didn't give us an age yet. Do you have an age, Olivia?
Okay. Hey, were you listening to what I said at all so you could then add in to help this guy?
No.
Got it. Sorry. Now I feel bad. Let me see if I can think of anything else.
You said everything. You covered all the bullets.
You didn't listen. How would you know?
Because I listened when
And
you said it. I just didn't have a response.
I purposely don't always say all the things so you can add. That's how we work.
We addressed it in the previous one.
You know what? I don't even know where my brain is now. Okay, Olivia, Dachshund. What was the question?
We're still the one for play.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yes, 1.5-year-old.
One
toy
and a
poodle.
half-year-old toy
Thank you.
poodle gets bit by my 11-month-old. Okay, so we're dealing with older puppies, not cute little puppies, older puppies. So my question would be, can your dog wait at thresholds? Does your little dog, because it's hard to do this with dachshunds, especially if it's a mini dachshund, does your dog, puppy, understand spatial pressure when it comes to you? And what I mean by that is sometimes when its cute little face comes up to you, do you just kind of, no, not right now, and kind of go on, and it, fine, goes and lays down somewhere. Do you stop at all thresholds? Not with a sit and with food, but can you do it with body language? Have you taught place command where the dog steps off, you can move in and go nope, and they reset themselves. So understanding body language is really important. Dogs are number one at body language. They're way better than us, but we muddy it up. We are permissive and we hold them and tell them they're cute and sweet and special and pet them every time they come up to us because they're adorable, and we ruin all of their instincts. And so then we have to like go back and reteach them. So the reason I'm telling you this is because for you, other than a leash, for you to have any control over play, it's really important that when you step in and go, hey, calm down. That's my thing. I go, hey, all the time. Hey, because I don't want to use no all the time. It's not like, no, you can't play. It's, hey, slow down, stop being a nutcase. And so I need to be able to go, hey, and move in. And my dog's like, oh, okay, and backs off. So I need that association. Until you can get that, I would have the dog drag around a leash, just on flat collar is fine. And so as soon as you see it start to escalate and you don't like what you're seeing, you can scoop up the leash pressure up, get in between them, have your dog move back, take a break, breathe, release, let them go again. That would be my
Well,
first,
it's the friend's
first
dog jumping
go-to.
on her dog. So it's the Dachshund jumping on her poodle.
What?
So her dog is the poodle. The friend's dog is the Dachshund.
Oh, there's nothing you can do to somebody else's dog unless you have permission.
Yeah.
Show them this video. It'll be
That actually would be a good benefit.
uploaded. They may be like, no, I'm not doing that.
She's like, that means like I ratted them out in the first place.
Sorry, Olivia.
Well, you gave us the full name, Olivia.
Complaining about you. So on YouTube, you could see like the full length version of this. And so that's what you'd have to do if you wanted to watch it with your friend.
Well, and honestly, it would be better if you guys were both managing your own dog. So if he's managing his dog or she's managing her dog, and then when your dog starts looking like they're a bit more fearful, you would step in to advocate for your dog, and then you would ask your friend, hey, do you mind backing off your dog or getting in between and applying that leash pressure, moving in like the dog trainer said.
Or
So
escalating. Like it might not even be making the dachshund fearful. It might be making the dachshund escalate more, trying to match
Which we're
the
more
energy.
likely to see in a dachshund.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned
Yeah.
that. Trying to match the energy. Anytime, either of the dogs look like they're getting overwhelmed, they're getting insecure, or they're rising to the occasion and coming back harder, none of those things are great. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a camp that's like, let them work it out themselves. I'm like, okay, well, that means potentially going to the vet because
Which they do often.
because the ear is punctured and now they've got a grudge against each other. Now they see each other and they want to fight.
Yep.
Good job working it out. So that's just not where we are. That's not like where I have a mind to tell people. And yeah, I'll
Healthy
leave it at
play
that.
looks like a,
Give and take.
yeah, on top, off, the other dog goes on top, gets off, other dog. It's just back and forth. It should look like a balance, but if it's one dog who's more meek and submissive, the other dog's more pushy. When one dog tries to turn and leave and the other dog starts jumping on their behind and like pull them back, you're going to get a bite pretty soon.
I'm gonna
'cause
give
they
you-
start getting frustrated usually.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a perfect example. And then
wait.
we're going to wrap up.
Minimal biting is okay as long as it's bite release and it's play biting. So
Yeah.
you can see if it's over emotional frustration and your dog might be the one doing it because she's getting beat up too much. So I'd be looking at your dog for those frustration bites and that would be your sign that she's overwhelmed.
Because it is genetic for some dogs to bite and hold, and it's your job to apply restrictions to those genetics. It's literally all of your jobs with your dogs, is you've got your batch of genetics, and you apply rules, boundaries, and fun to those genetics. What I was going to say real quick, because I thought you'd enjoy this, Cosmo. Oh, or not Cosmo, sorry, Romeo. Romeo. Yesterday, he tends to be a older puppy, like a year and a half, kind of like the poodle, that is the sheriff. He's a typical corgi.
He holds grudges too.
Yes, he's grudgy. But there's not always a lot of give and take, but he doesn't escalate a lot because he doesn't do what the poodle's doing. He does what a herding dog does. He rushes up, calms the dog down, and then, that's what he thinks he's doing. And then if the dog freezes and is like playing with someone else, he just waits for them to move again because it's a herding dog instinct, right? Okay, anyway, yesterday,
Move on.
yesterday, sometimes it ends in a bite. Like if a dog isn't behaving, he will like go to nip the ear and he'll go, "Arr." But he's so easy to get to back off. It's not a big deal. The dogs don't care because it's not hard. So that's why it's okay.
It's not malicious, it's
not
controlling.
Yeah. And as long as the other dog, like it's not bothering them, it's no big deal. He plays with another corgi yesterday. And for some of the first time I've seen him in a while, he actually pursued the other corgi. And then they got to each other and they didn't know what to do because it's two dogs with really similar instincts. Like really, I think that's why he started to do this because he's like, I don't know what to do with you. And then he would turn and run away. And Riggy, would chase Romeo.
Oh, Riggy.
And then Riggy would run after another dog because it's also a corgi trying to chase down arousal. And then he would chase Riggy. And then it was very give and take.
I can imagine that right now.
It was so
That's
funny.
great.
I'd never seen him do that to that extent before in such a positive way without having to intervene and calm him down. And so that's what we mean. Dogs can be rolling all over each other as long as they give a little, take a little. I have a German Shepherd. She's right here. She will take advantage of dogs that are more submissive and smaller than her. I have to be on top of her all the time. It's her temperament. It's her personality. She will not regulate.
Her breed.
It's her breed. She won't regulate herself, so I got to do it for her. Literally what we were meant to do and why we're paired with doggies. Okay. Anything else?
I do the same thing for Shaq. She'd go after little dogs that looked at her too long or growled at her. I had to be very on top of that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah,